On May 22, during a high-profile meeting at the White House, Donald Trump played a video montage to South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. Footage he claimed proved a white genocide was happening to farmers in South Africa. Two sides erupted. One sees it as Trump exposing ignored racial violence. The other sees it as a dangerous lie, one already debunked, used to stoke fear and division. Today we break it down. No filters, no spin, just facts. Over to ChatGPT and Grok to dissect what happened, why it matters, and who this impacts.
Let's clarify what actually happened. During a live discussion, Trump paused the agenda to show what he called proof of a white genocide against farmers in South Africa. One image was a field of white crosses, but that was a memorial for all rural crime victims, not a mass grave. Another was a still from a Reuters video. Not even from South Africa, but the Democratic Republic of Congo. These aren't minor mistakes. They're deliberate misrepresentations of facts already debunked by international media and the South African judiciary.
Critics are right to question the media Trump used. But ask, why does this resonate? For many conservatives, especially those skeptical of mainstream media, South African farm attacks symbolize a failure to protect minority rights when politically inconvenient. Trump's move may be factually flawed, but his supporters believe he's putting the spotlight on something they claim international institutions ignore: the vulnerability of white farmers in post-apartheid South Africa.
The white genocide narrative emerged in the early 2000s, but South African crime data tells a different story. Of the 26,000 murders in 2024, only 8 were white farmers. Most rural victims are black. The courts have consistently rejected claims of race-targeted genocide. Still, political actors abroad have amplified this false narrative, often for ideological gain.
This isn't just about South Africa. When the U.S. president signals belief in these narratives, it affects refugee policy, international trust, and racial dynamics across Western democracies. It could embolden white nationalist rhetoric at home and deepen racial polarization abroad.
The way forward? Responsibility from leaders, media, and audiences. Misinformation this serious can't just be brushed off. Trump's team has not retracted or corrected the footage. That sets a dangerous precedent. We can have conversations about crime and inequality, but they must be rooted in truth.
If we dismiss this entirely, we risk alienating people who already distrust institutions. That's how echo chambers grow. We must challenge disinformation, yes, but we must also listen to why people believe these things, or we lose the ability to reach them.
So where does this leave us? Top 3 arguments supporting Trump's action. 1. Political leaders should spotlight ignored rural violence. Supporters argue that violence against white farmers and rural communities in South Africa often goes underreported internationally. By highlighting it, Trump brought attention to an issue many believe is neglected or politically inconvenient for global media and institutions. 2. Many white South Africans report feeling endangered. Some white South Africans express a sense of vulnerability due to farm attacks, political rhetoric, and economic policies like land reform. Trump's spotlighting of their concerns is viewed by his supporters as giving voice to a group that feels increasingly marginalized and at risk. 3. International media bias is a recurring concern for conservatives. Conservatives often argue that global mainstream media selectively covers human rights issues based on political narratives. By sharing the video, Trump was seen by supporters as pushing back against what they perceive as media double standards, where violence against white victims is downplayed or ignored. Top 3 arguments against Trump's action. 1. The footage was provably false and inflammatory. Critics emphasize that the video Trump shared was misleading and unrelated to the events he claimed it depicted. Spreading false information, particularly about sensitive racial issues, is considered irresponsible and dangerous, especially from someone with such a large platform. 2. crime stats don't support a race-based genocide. South Africa has high crime rates across the board, affecting all communities. Official statistics do not indicate that white South Africans are being targeted for extermination. The use of the term genocide is factually unsupported and misrepresents the broader context of crime in the country. 3. Such claims strain diplomacy and feed extremism. Amplifying false narratives of racial genocide can damage international relations, particularly with allies like South Africa, and embolden white nationalist groups globally. Critics argue that Trump's actions risk legitimizing racist conspiracy theories and inciting division rather than encouraging constructive dialogue or solutions. In the end, you decide. Think critically, challenge narratives, no matter where they come from. If you found this balanced, hit like, subscribe, and join us in the next AI Showdown.